This is where my intro music would go if I had any. Hello, everyone. This is Coach Zach of the Pastoria City Porygon-Zs, and welcome to my very first home broadcast. So today's battle was against Jacob and the Snowpoint City Stantlers. I'd like to make an aside note. My microphone is on the table in front of me, so we will not be having color commentary by my beard today. Perhaps just me sliding it across everything, but no beard. So Jacob's team worried me for a couple of reasons. Number one being Z-Mew, because you never know what the hell Z-Mew is going to be. And I was thinking, watching his team the last couple times, he'd run a support Mew again, and as you'll see in the matchup, that did not go well for me. I was also afraid of his Thundurus and of his Infernape because of my two staple players, Magearna and Celesteela, who have glaring weaknesses to those two Pokemon. So my sets were catered around those, and looking at his team preview, Smeargle was the first thing that stood out to me. I didn't prep for Smeargle. I should have prepped for Smeargle. He hasn't used Smeargle yet, and I figured, why would he use Smeargle now? Because Smeargle can do some serious damage to me. So I'm hitting play on the battle now for the sake of syncing things up. Let's get into it. So as I said, I was not expecting Smeargle to come out. I was expecting him to use a lead Mew like he has been using the past two battles, which makes a really great reason as to why he would not use that Mew. And I had originally built in a contingency plan for the Smeargle, but I didn't bring it, so it doesn't matter. I also realized I'd brought a different Hippowdon than I planned on bringing, so this Chief Beef is a more defensive set with a Rocky Helmet that I used last week, and I was planning on using it against Infernape mostly because if it was physical, if it was a U-turn variant, I would help with the chip damage, especially if I got rocks up. Had I used my other Hippowdon I was planning on, it was more of an offensive-based thing that would have one-hit KO Smeargle, even with the Sash, and Sandstorm would have taken it out, but he gets up Sticky Webs the first turn, and that really proves to be the most pivotal point of this match. So even with the offensive Hippowdon, it wouldn't have mattered as much as some of my other plans. So I should have planned for that. The Smeargle was the MVP. He uses Memento, goes out. So these first couple plays were just really him setting up webs are the most important part. Stones don't do as much to me. He gets out Manaphy, and I switch. Looking back on it, I should have known the Tail Glow was coming, and I should have gotten any damage I could have off on this Manaphy. I think an Earthquake still would have done about 30 to 40%, which with the Sandstorm, with Celesteela coming in, I could have done what I was about to do, which is Celesteela surviving a hit. I anticipated that, and then I opted for the Toxic so I could put this monstrosity of an adorable little Pokemon on a timer. And if I'd had that Hippowdon chip damage from the Earthquake, which should have been my option, that would have helped a lot. So, Kinkai, Manaphy, anticipates my Protect here. This was a dumb move of mine. I should have known that I was going to die anyway. I wasn't going to be able to stall it out. It manages to get another Tail Glow up, which is fantastic for me, you know. I love that. I love glowing tails. I should have gone for a Leech Seed or a Heavy Slam just again to get more chip damage to put this Manaphy on more of a timer, because I don't have anything that can take these Surfs, which I had to laugh when he used Surf against me because we had so much discussion the past 2 days about Surf versus Scald, and here I am getting absolutely rocked by a Pokemon using Surf. So here I go into Chief Beef. The plan here was, I know I'm gonna die. I know I'm done. I don't have anything that can hit the point, but I'm re-establishing Sandstorm to speed up the process and sack a Pokemon who frankly has served its point for Sandstorm and Stone Edge. It would have been great for it to switch in on Infernape, but the most of my worries right now were outlasting this damn Manaphy. So yeah, it takes damage. takes the poison damage, so it's got one more turn. I go into Slowbro thinking maybe he's not carrying Energy Ball, which I know he's carrying Energy Ball. Maybe Slowbro will somehow survive a +6 Surf, which I really don't think even that would do. It's not especially defensive. Invest in Slowbro. It was my answer for Infernape as well. So it was defensive investment and actually a lot of special attack investment to make sure that I could kill Infernape, and actually had enough to kill Thundurus with an Ice Beam. So both my Infernape answers are down. This was my biggest mistake, other than not prepping for Smeargle, is going immediately for Magearna here. So my Magearna was built special defensively, not with an Assault Vest, but special defensively to take a Fire Blast from a timid Infernape, and he's not timid. He's either Jolly or Adamant in the Flare Blitz, and he gets a decent amount of damage. Looking back, what I could have done is gone to Garchomp instead, and either resisted the hit or got him with a close combat so that his defenses were lowered and everything, and let him take more chip to save Magearna for later. Because the set I was running could have done some damage. This was the one trick I had up my sleeve that did come in handy. So Garchomp, I was running Sand Veil rather than Rough Skin. It's a choice band Garchomp, so its point was to come in, take as little damage as possible, and deal as much damage back as possible. So the Sand Veil actually played off handy for there, and I was able to get the KO on the Infernape, but he goes out to the absolutely dreaded Thundurus. Paronga, which is a great name. All of these names are actually fantastic. I really appreciate all of them. So I switched to Deerman, who again is invested to take a couple of hits from Thundurus specifically, and actually was running enough speed to outrun a timid Thundurus, but again, Sticky Webs get in my way, and I go down to Psychic. I was packing Continental Crush, which my plan was to take 2 hits from Thundurus and fire back with Continental Crush, and it would have worked if it weren't for those meddling kids and their Sticky Webs. So yeah, this is it. He hits me with the Hidden Power Ice, and you could pour a little bit of cold water on a Garchomp and it'll go down because it'll be so frozen. So that's my battle. Really, what it came down to was a couple of turns where I could have played things differently, but my biggest play in the end that really messed everything up was not prepping for that stupid Smeargle, and I knew it was going to happen, and I didn't do it anyway. So we didn't even get to see what Altaria and Mew had to offer. I have no idea what his Mew ended up being, so I spent all that time planning for it and getting nothing out of it. So that was my battle this week. Hopefully next week I can bring you a more positive commentary, maybe not a retrospective of what could have gone better, but what I did well is really what I'm hoping for. So thanks all for listening. You kind of have to if you watch the video. I guess you could turn the sound off. And that's all I got for you. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night.